know my name. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 286 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Prime in the building. We're talking today, it's position breakdown. It's the tight end position. I think if we're going to talk about the tight end position, this is the first time in a long time we're not bringing up Zach Ertz. It's actually a great opportunity for Dallas Goedert, but overall, I mean, I think the tight end position is going to be very interesting. If you're talking about who's going to be tight end 2, tight end 3, how many tight ends we're going to bring this year to the table, the possible transition of it is a transition of Jawn to the tight end position. So I mean, overall, how are you guys feeling about the tight end position before we get into it?
To be honest with you, over the moon, Gail. I'm over. Yeah, okay. If I'm looking at this tight end position, obviously our golden era is the Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert years. But I love Dallas Goedert's ability. I was saying it while Zach Ertz was still here. I think that he is a more complete tight end. I'm not saying better. I'm just saying as far as the tight end position is considered, I think he's more complete. He's able to give those blocks. He's able to shed tackles, which is something that obviously Zach Ertz would struggled here, but still had a hell of a career. But if you just look at the depth of these guys, man, like I feel like tight end is somewhat of a tough position to come by in the NFL. And the fact that we have, I would say, a top 5, arguably, tight end as our starter, followed by very deep roster beneath him. I'm happy with it, man. I really think that we have one of the better tight end groups in the entire league.
I like the way you're starting off there, Ev.
Yeah.
I mean, the way we started off realizing that Zach Ertz is no longer part of the roster, I mean, it's already strange, I mean, with the fact that he's in Arizona now, and here we got Dallas Goedert and 6 other guys that pretty much have to step up to the table, I mean, to go ahead and complete this spot for the tight ends. I didn't even realize, until the beginning of the show that we had 7 on the roster, 7 tight ends. I mean, that's a lot. It's like we're stacked all over the place. So, the offseason is going to be really tough to go ahead and decide who's going to go ahead and be like, the legit people in these spots. So, it's going to be interesting, man. But I'm also looking, like Evan, I'm also looking forward to seeing what these guys are going to bring to the table. Dallas Goedert, excited about him, man. The chemistry he's got with the team in general is real big. He's got a great relationship with his boy. And, it leads all the way into the season. Like, so just having that attitude, I mean, it's going to play a big role. So I'm like with you guys, I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys are all about this season.
Shout out to the people that are in the chat on a Friday. I mean, most people are getting ready to gear up to go party, maybe go down to the shore, maybe do some grilling.
Hit a bar.
Eat dinner. Hopefully Prime ate already.
I'm gonna be hangry by the end of the show.
No, I haven't eaten either.
Yeah.
But AJ in the comments is saying Dallas needs to concentrate on his hands. He will be awesome. She's saying hope Tyree comes back. We got some more love from Tyree for Tyree Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Todd. And I think we got a shout out in Upper Bird Gang.
Obviously we're deep at tight end. Obviously people want to talk about Tyree Jackson, but I don't want to sweep Dallas Goedert underneath of the rug already. I mean, if I'm just looking at his stats, this is a guy that has improved every single year he's been in the league. And obviously he was fighting for targets while Zach Ertz was here. But last year, as Zach Ertz leaves, I mean, 56 receptions, 830 yards, 4 touchdowns. That is very impressive in my mind, especially when you're considering that, we as a fan base were critical of Jalen Hurts last year, but Dallas Goedert ended up being one of his favorite targets, which I think is a great connection for him to form. I think year 2 of Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts can be something special, man. I'm smelling a 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert to me, and it's weird that we're here because if y'all have been sticking with us, Dallas Goedert, even before Dallas Goedert was on this team, was a guy that I wanted on the Eagles, and to forecast what he might be. And here we are, and Zach Ertz is out of the picture, and it's all come to fruition. And Dallas Goedert, he's in his 5th year. And it was interesting because I didn't realize Dallas was 27 in a Tybo class. But I think, just thinking about Dallas Goedert, it's just this is his opportunity to shine. You talk about being a running offense and not getting as much targets as I think he needs to be fed. I think he's got a great opportunity to get targets and get those one-on-ones. And I think he should be a solid force in the middle of the field. And I think Dallas and Jalen have to get that connection going early and often.
When you mention how Dallas Goedert is 27 years old, are you saying that with you think he's getting up there?
Time flies, man.
He's 27 old now? Bro, come on. I'm 27.
No. But bro, he's been here 5 years.
Yeah, no, that part is kind of shocking. I mean, I remember and to touch on your point, there was really one guy. He was obviously the draft after we got Carson Wentz. And he was the first pick that we had because we traded all of our assets in order to grab Carson in the previous year. But I remember in the pre-draft process, we came to you and we're like, you know the college players better than we do. Give us some names. You gave me one name off the bat. It's Dallas Goedert, bro. We ended up drafting him. So the rest is history. I think he's a great tight end. He's obviously has elite hands. Dude, I don't know how we fill out the rest of this roster. It's going to be it's going to be a bloodbath. Who gets tight end 2 and the rest of the positions?
Yeah, I mean he's in his 5th year. I mean, to me that doesn't really matter as much, because of the fact that the kid he plays his ass off. So I like that pretty much overpowers all the other bullshit. So I mean, I think he's still got a good 4 or 5 years left in him, man. I think his physique. Again, I mentioned his attitude, like all that stuff plays a factor, how far you go in the NFL. And with Zach not being here no more, he's definitely in that role now to go ahead and shine. And he started it off well last year. I mean, he did play that one game, and I always mention the Jets game because it was a great game. But I mean, Dallas Goedert was a great, was the majority of the target that game, and he played his ass off. I mean, I think we were all gunning for him to go over 100 receiving yards that game. It's that type of attitude in that game. I mean, he was excited. He was asking for the ball the whole time. So I'm looking forward to seeing him, do his thing regardless on how long he's been in the NFL.
I know he dealt with concussions, and I think he had COVID last year as well. But I think it's his time to shine. It is definitely his time to shine. I think people in the comments have been thoroughly backing Dallas. I mean, moving right along. I mean, I think this is where it gets interesting for me. I feel like who's going to be that tight end 2? We can go. Any one of these guys could be tight end.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's going to be a bloodbath. 1 second, real quick. I just had to bring this point up. This is the peak age. So this is the age, according to this graph, that the respective tight end, their best season. So at age 25 seems to be the golden year for tight ends in the NFL. But if you're looking at this bell curve, honestly, as you start to slope down into the 30s, there's still some productive seasons there. That's essentially the point I'm trying to get across. I think tight end is relatively not an old man's position, but it's a hell of a lot older than a running back. You can last a lot longer than a running back. I think you can last into your low 30s as a tight end, man.
So you're saying that Dallas's peak is going down?
I'm saying that Dallas is still in his peak era. That's what I'm saying.
I still think it's going to go even higher because we're talking about that production, sharing the field with Zach Ertz has been a thing the last couple of years. I feel like it's a perfect opportunity for him to just This is the breakout season. I mean, he was on pace. The way he was playing last year, he was on pace for 1,000-yard season if he in a 17-game season. But again, we talk about this tight end 2 position. I mean, we're just gonna throw guys out here, not saying who's gonna be tight end 2 yet, because it's gonna be a battle. But we'll go with the elder statesman. But I think he's I would say would be the Greg Ward of the tight end group.
Agreed.
We're talking about Richard Rodgers, 257 pounds, 6'4". You know, he's a big dude. He's a guy that is reliable when you call him off the streets. If you need a reliable tight end, if someone gets injured, if somebody goes down, Richard Rodgers is a guy that you can call on to be your tight end 3, or a guy who can who has he's a guy that you can rely on. I mean, what are your thoughts on Richard Rodgers?
I think you pretty much nailed it on the head. I mean, I think that I agree. He is comparable to Greg Ward in the fact that he was the guy to step up when we really needed him from the tight end position. But with that being said, I really can't think of many times that come to mind where Richard Rodgers let us down. I think of a bunch of more times where Richard Rodgers starts off a game with, like, he has the first 3 receptions of the game and he gets the momentum of the offense going. That's the Richard Rodgers I remember. So, like, as far as Richard, I think he's a good tight end. I don't think he's one of the, top flight, top 30 tight ends in the league. He's not a starter, I don't think. But as far as the best backup tight end of the league, he's up there, bro. I think he's up. And AJ, thank you for the compliment. That's going to carry me for the rest of the week.
Listen, man, I'm a big fan of Dick Rod. All right, I mean, the guy's clutch. He comes in here, he does the job. Third down conversions, he's big on. And it's like you said, he's the Greg Ward of the team. I mean, well, he's the second Greg Ward of the team. You can count on him to come in here and do the plays. You can count on him to come in here and fill in the roster spot when somebody goes down. Got the pleasure of meeting him at the Eagles Autism. Tall dude, big dude. You know what I'm saying? So great. Another one with a great attitude. He's like a.
Did you call him Dick Rat?
But it was just still it was just cool meeting him at the Eagles Autism. Got to talk a little bit. But hey, he's another one. Like you said, he could fill in that spot. He could start off as a number 3, but he could always work his way to be that number 2. We're going to find out
for sure.
There's some love in the chat for Dick Rod.
I mean, dude, it's also, I feel like there's some bias in the name. People love a good nickname. You know what I mean? And Dick Rod is pretty freaking good, bro.
Classic.
Talk about pretty freaking good. Getting Grant Calcaterra at a SMU. Again, he's got 6'4", he's got that size, 240 pounds, 23 years old. He's a rookie. And this rookie, in fact, also played with Jalen Hurts while he was in Oklahoma for a short stint. But the interesting thing about Grant Calcaterra is he's a guy that he's modeled his game after Zach Ertz. But he's that guy that, if you're looking for a pass catching tight end, he's a guy that can give you, some playmaking ability. But, he did deal with concussions. He's a guy who almost retired from football, was this close to being an EMT. He quit the day before he was about to start. He realized he thought to himself, do I go back? Do I just, woulda, coulda, shoulda? Or he decided to transfer and went to SMU, became a big part of their offense down there. So I think Grant Calcaterra has a great opportunity to get early reps, early and often. And if he shines out there, I think, but I do think about the tight ends that played here last year, like the Jack Stolls of the world, and the Dick Rods and them and such, and the Tyree Jacksons. If they played phenomenally well, would they draft a Grant Calcaterra? So how are you guys feeling about Grant?
Well, I mean, obviously, my facial expressions were starting to worry Prime, but you said something in there that really made me worried. First of all, strike one, number 47 for a tight end. Hate him.
Is that what it was?
No, it wasn't just that. It was when Gail mentioned the fact that he wanted to be an EMT, and the first thing I thought of was Danny Watkins. And I'm like, all right, he's number 47. He wanted to be an EMT. He retired from the game. He's got 157 concussions. Listen, I think the kid shows talent in his tape. But like I said, that this is a very deep tight end class. And while we're like, the guy's talent is obvious. His size is great. 6'4", 240. But the fact that, you know, he wanted to step away from the game. He has all these concussions. Like, it's not just me worrying about the Eagles' tight end position. It's also me worrying about his health. I don't want this guy's brains to be scrambled. If like you are pursuing an NFL contract because you want to get that bag, I totally get it, dude. I totally get it. You want to set your family up, but at the same time, you want to be able to walk and enjoy the rest of your life. And if these concussions are a serious issue, I think that he should take that into effect.
But is he a football guy?
Listen, man.
Gail,
we went to watch Brian Dawkins get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I saw football guys that are Hall of Famers that are sitting there with rubber helmets on because their bodies just couldn't take the beating they took while they were in the league. Grant Calcaterra is coming into the league with a slew of concussions already. He'll probably get some more if he plays in the NFL. So I'm just looking out for him and inevitably what might happen.
I mean,
so
you bring
that. Huh?
You're concerned dad right now.
I'm concerned dad.
27, concerned dad.
27, he's 23. I got to look out for the youngins, pal.
I don't blame Evan for being concerned. You know, I mean, it's a risk that we ended up taking by even drafting him with all these problems that he has. I mean, look, the tight end position being rookies, I'm always excited to see these guys come in and shine because I think we've been blessed for the past few years with that, you know, that position with Zach Ertz, with Dallas, even guys before those guys. So it's always a position to look forward to because I feel like these guys that come in and fill that spot are clutch. But, you know, with this guy's resume, it is scary, man. I mean, the number doesn't bother me as much as it bothers Evan, but the concussions list and the fact that he was going to be an EMT. Yeah. I mean, like, hey, bro, Danny Watkins is definitely one to go ahead and think about. It
smells very Danny Watkins-ish.
I get you, man. So, you know, I mean, I agree with you, man. It's definitely risky, especially, you know what I mean, for what he's been going through already. So, you know, I really wish him nothing but the best. And at the end of the day, I just hope that, you know, I mean, he's safe and it works out for him. We'll see what happens.
So the dad of the group has spoken. So if Prime is concerned, all right, I'll be concerned for his health. I was watching a lot of the interviews with him and just seeing that he came to a point like he really did the research on like his health, and after coming to a conclusion, like he was like, I had to step away from the game. But then I was just like, okay, if you went to that extent to figure out if you were, you know, it's not looking good. Like for him to come back, I was like, bro, that's a lot for you to come back. And I mean,
it is, but there's also like the mentality of you're not going to be able to play football forever. Like I get that he's a young kid and he could be weighing the fact of like, you know, it could be a risky thing, but like it's now or never to make it to the NFL. I have this opportunity at 23 years old and this window isn't going to be around for very long at all. So I think that's really what it comes down to. I think he's just taking advantage of an opportunity, which isn't wrong. I just think, you know, it's risky.
Paul's saying he's going to have to wear 2 helmets. Now, if you guys are old enough, you probably don't remember, or young enough, you probably don't remember Mark Kelso. Check out the Mark Kelso. Google Mark Kelso, Kelso, I believe. He
that
had
big doggy ass helmet he had to wear.
Biggest helmet of the century. He looked like
my man off of Spaceballs.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was
why did he wear this freaking thing?
Because he had head injuries.
Yeah.
It's the best looking helmet.
What was my man from the Percy Harvin, right? That was the dude. I mean, nice.
Oh, Percy Harvin, yeah, concussion.
Always had concussion problems. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like at the end of the day, it's risky, man. However you look at it, it's risky.
And I mean, you just listen.
Are you guys trying to look for that helmet?
I already found it. I was looking at it, but like I'm just looking at it from a perspective of like over the past 10 years or so, CTE has become like a huge thing, and there's been crazy situations where guys pass away way before they should have,
Bro, I'm not
like,
sure if you guys heard the news the other day about
Demaryius
Demaryius.
Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's exactly kind of what I was referring to too.
yeah, bro.
It's just crazy, man. Like
That
TTE is
that was,
real
yeah.
news, bro. And
That was interesting because like I was thinking about if you were some of his teammates, you're like, all right, well, he was young, bro. So I mean, it is interesting. I did for the people out there, if you're listening on the podcast, you're not able to see the Mark Kelso helmet. This helmet is the most
it's a helmet on
ginormous.
top of a helmet, bro.
He got a helmet on top of a helmet. Yeah. So I mean, like as we move along, I think we were super concerned dads in here. Only one of us is a real dad. I'm a dad to some pets, but moving right along. I go Jack Stoll, 6'4", 247, 24 years old, not yet in the Tybo class. 2 years experience, but I think Jack Stoll, a guy, you know, being an undrafted free agent out of Nebraska, came to this team, and it's not every day that, like, you know, an undrafted free agent makes a roster and is able to contribute. It's not sexy what he was contributing, but the fact that he was on there, you know, being a reliable, you know, a tight end 3, or, you know, coming in, and we're talking about an undrafted free agent. You know, his ability to beat out some of the guys that they decided to keep. You know, talking about Travis Fulgham, a guy who had a monster couple games, and you kept the Jack Stoll over a Fulgham. You're like, really? But Jack Stoll, I think he's going to have his hands full this year because obviously they want to see more from him in the passing game. Can he be a reliable? You know, is he smart with the football IQ out there? He knows what to knows what to do, knows where to be. How you guys feeling about Jack Stoll? Jack Stoll sounds like a bottle of liquor. Grab me some of the Jack Stoll.
It does. Now, I mean, I like Jack Stoll. I think he's a bubble guy, ultimately. He's a guy that came in to be undrafted and, you know, contribute the way he did. That is impressive, and that definitely gets him some brownie points. But ultimately, I don't think he is a guy that is head and shoulders above anybody else on this tight end list that's not named Dallas Goedert. I think that they're all kind of neck and neck. Jack Stoll is one of those guys that could definitely earn a tight end 2 or 3 position. But it's still up in the air. He's a bubble guy.
I agree. I mean, Jack Stoll, you know, going into his second year, I mean, he's 24 years old, going back to the graph that Evan put up there a little bit earlier, you know what I mean? He's getting there, so maybe he could go ahead and reach that peak that, you know, most 24, 25-year-old tight ends get at. So we'll see. But, you know, he definitely has some serious shoes to fill in this year.
He's almost at that peak year, 25.
A lot of tight ends come out of Nowheresville in the middle of the country. Jack Stoll out of Nebraska, Goddard out of South Dakota. They know how to grow tight ends out there.
Yeah, man, they be eating their Wheaties out there, man. Talk about eating their Wheaties or eating, I don't know what. I think he needs to eat a little bit more Wheaties. But JJ Arthega Whiteside, other known as J Jaw, 6'2", 237. He's the lightest of the group, but he is an age 25, 4 years of experience at the wide receiver position, 3 years of experience at the wide receiver position. J Jaw is a guy who we actually on the show had mentioned that he should move to tight end. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he did move to tight end, I think everyone on the podcast should pat their own back. Go ahead, give it to yourself. Yep. Because I mean, we're talking about the last straws here for his opportunity to play with the Eagles. But the fact that if you're going to keep him as a tight end 3, he should be able to beat out some of these tight ends and safeties in space. Does have some size. I don't know about the separation. Blocking as a wide receiver is different than blocking an edge rusher. So I feel like he's got everything in front of him to, he's got the opportunity. But I think J Jaw, this is the fact that how much you paying him, like how much you paying J Jaw to do what he's doing. Like you could get hands off the street, Jack Stoll Jack Stoll style instead of paying J-Jaw? Because look at the money. Like, are you really going to pay him that much to do what he's doing and and what he's potentially going to contribute?
So let me start with the positives here. Positives being we've heard for years about what a great blocker he is. Out of Stanford, intelligent, but you hit the nail on the head, Gail, in the fact that blocking as a wide receiver is 100% different than blocking as a tight end. You're blocking cornerbacks that are some of the lightest guys on the defense versus blocking edge rushers and linebackers who are some of the strongest guys that are on football teams. That's a huge thing that you need to overcome. The thing is, and like, I don't mean any disrespect to JJ and what I'm about to say or anything like that.
Whoa.
Listen,
usually you're gonna highly disrespect the man before you say that. But go ahead.
Yeah, and I totally get what I'm saying. But the point is that I think that this is going to be a very telling move for Howie Roseman. Because I think that if Howie ends up deciding to carry J-Jaw onto this team, I think it'll be solely because he doesn't want to admit they were wrong in drafting him. I think that J-Jaw would be tight end 3, and he's going to end up really not getting any playing time this year. And at the end of the year, we're going to step away and we're going to be like, honestly, we could have had someone contribute more for less money. And I think that's ultimately what's going to end up happening. I think J-Jaw gets this third tight end spot simply because we have a guy with a big ego that runs the team. He may do things well in other respects, signing guys to good contracts, doing well in free agency, but he also still has an ego. And I think that J-Jaw is an extension of that. So if Howie Roseman can surprise me and put that behind him and go for a more effective option, kudos to him. My hat is off to him. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think J-Jaw is going to be your tight end 3.
Oh,
bro. I don't have nothing to say. I don't know what else I can say. You guys, there ain't enough to say about J-Jaw, and whatever was, you guys pretty much already, talked about it. All I'm gonna say is this is it. There is nothing else after this, man. That whole Howie Roseman thing probably is playing a big part in this decision on keeping him on this roster. Because he doesn't want to admit that he was wrong. He doesn't want to admit to the fan base. It's a lot on him. So he's got to do whatever he's got to do to at least try to get some type of positive out of this. But this is it, man. This is where the line draws. And if he doesn't feel, compete at this position and gets a spot, he's got to go, man. That's it. That's all I can really say about that.
Now, J-Jaw's cap hit for this season is 1.5. He's making $1,574,231. There's probably some sense in there, but like his dead cap is $405,000. So if he is cut, that's
that's a drop in the bucket.
So I mean, is it that bad?
No, it's not. But it's a matter of is Howie going to be able to tuck the ego aside, man?
Got some money there for a bedazzled umbrella.
And shout out to the J-Jaw family that we hung out with last year, and Prime allowed his mom to come up so graciously, like, come on, Mama, Arthega Whiteside.
Yeah.
And J-Jaw was very, very, very nice to Prime, and he said, appreciate you, Prime, for allowing me to have a moment with my mom. Big hug after the Washington game. But moving right along, I have a feeling Eagle fans have a certain feeling about J-Jaw. The comments are littered with interesting nuggets of information.
But when you get drafted in the second round and then you are moved around to a different position and you are fighting for your life just to make the team after a year or two, that's
like it. His fall from grace is like if you were working the wait staff. Next thing you know, you got moved to the fryer later.
Yeah, but the thing is that you say his fall from grace. I don't think his fall was that far because I don't really think that he ever showed us a huge flash of wow, this guy's got something. I can't think of one play in his career where he had that.
Talking about a guy who also had a position change. Very exciting for him to be able to, keep playing. He talked about the quarterback out of Buffalo, Tyree Jackson.
Mhm.
Big dude, man. Also looks like Steven Puga, if you know Puga. So Puga's big brother on steroids. But Tyree Jackson, 6'7", 249. He's in his second year. I think the fact that they moved on from Zach Ertz, they had some love for what they saw in Tyree Jackson. Tyree Jackson ended up with a back injury early in I think it was a camp. They shelved him for part of the season, then ends up tearing his ACL late in the season. So Tyree Jackson, a guy that a lot of us were rooting for him in his skill set, and the fact that he got hurt again, I feel like you come back from ACL. Not everyone comes back from ACLs. Not everyone is the same after an ACL tear, but hopefully he is doing okay. But Tyree Jackson, how you guys feeling about Tyree Jackson coming into the season?
You want to go first, Prime?
Yeah, I mean, I'm big on Tyree Jackson. He was definitely impressive in the beginning of last season, preseason, leading into the regular season. I know he had the injury at the end of the season, so his time is limited going into the season. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm big, man. My hopes for him coming back healthy, fully strong. I think he's going to go ahead and definitely elevate himself up on that roster spot. So I'm looking forward to seeing Tyree come back healthy and do his thing.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I agree with Prime. I think that this is honestly the tight end 2 position is Tyree Jackson's for the taking. I think that from all the flashes and obviously we heard so much chatter coming out of camp last year about how he was just lighting the world on fire, how good he looked. And then on top of that, you add in his size, 6'7", 250. That's huge. And he will be a force to be reckoned with out on the field. I think that Tyree Jackson, if he is able to stay healthy and you pick up where he left off last year, I think he's tight end 2 on this team. But if he comes back from the ACL and he still continues to struggle, I think the Eagles would go in a different direction.
Primo.
Yeah, he answered first.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do think he's coming back from injury. So like depending on where he is with his recovery, do you save a spot for him on the 53? Because I mean that's what they did last year. So I think they're high on him. I'm wondering what Grant Calcaterra brings to the table. If they feel like he's more. He's you're talking about Grant Calcaterra, who's already a tight end, and Tyree Jackson is developing as we speak. So that'll be the interesting part.
I will say that I don't think that it would be smart at all to roll with a Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, Tyree Jackson type of thing, because you've got 2 out of the 3 guys potentially could be gone from injury. You got no depth there in my mind. So I think if either one of those guys makes the top 3 tight ends on the team, I don't think the other one does between Calcaterra and Tyree Jackson.
Would you bet? If you had $100, who would you bet on being tight end 2, Tyree Jackson or Calcaterra?
That's tough. I'm kind of my initial thought is I'm leaning Calcaterra just based off the fact that I think that the ACL, I think it's just going to be more difficult for him to come back from. I think that Calcaterra has a clear mind right now, probably is doing just fine health wise, but it's until he catches that first crack to the head that's just not good that's where we start to see him struggle.
Now Cody says honestly, I think Tyree can be better than Rodgers depending on how he's coming back from these injuries. I think you keep Rodgers on the bat phone.
Yeah.
We need you, my guy. So Prime, I forgot that money on tight end 2, Grant Calcaterra or Tyree Jackson.
I'm gonna go with Tyree Jackson, man. I got high hopes for him, and I'm really hoping that he does come back. overcomes the whole ACL injury. You know, I know the history on people coming back from that type of injury is not favored on his side, but look, I'm confident, and you know, I'm really rooting for him to come back healthy and do his thing.
Shout out to Chris, who's finally moved to Philadelphia from down south. He's now a Philadelphian, working for the Philadelphia Eagles as well.
Welcome to the city, Christopher.
Can we get some Eagle swag or something, Chris? Something. Bringing up the rear, we're talking about this is the last guy, man. I'm almost kind of sad.
Yeah.
No, it's a guy we another undrafted free agent tight end out of Oregon, or was it Oregon State? Oregon State. The fact that we lost him off the practice squad, got plucked. Spent some time with the Indianapolis Colts. So he has a relationship with Sirianni as well. He's 6'4", 244 pounds. He's a guy that they wanted to develop. Is he a potential player to fight for the back end of the tight end position? He's gonna have competition, man. That's what I like to see. That back end group. Is anyone super dynamic? I think if you think about it, Tyree Jackson is the guy that you're hoping he comes to fruition, because at that size, and if he's got the playmaking ability. Jack Stoll is that's basic. Like, I mean, if basic's not bad, but
basic can be reliable. But Noah's a guy, to me, he's the dark horse, man. He's the guy that is kind of waiting in the wings right now. That if he pops off during camp, he could be that guy. That he could be that Tyree Jackson, or whoever. He could be that guy to fill out the roster. I think Noah's a guy. I mean, obviously we liked him a lot. We tried to hide him on the practice squad, ended up getting plucked. I'm pretty sure we protected him a few weeks too last year, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, he's my dark horse. I think he's a guy that could surprise people this training camp. But with that being said, dude, I think that any one of these 6 guys can make the roster, which is a good problem to have.
I mean, his career, if Noah becomes a dark horse, makes the roster. I mean, that's a crazy career arc. I mean, Noah's Ark would be.
Oh, wow. You've been sitting on that one, haven't you?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm definitely in need of some food. But Todd, he says, here's a scenario: if something happens to one of the tight ends, do the Eagles try and trade Boobie Miles to AZ for Zach? Come on, man.
Stop. Would you stop it?
Get out of here. I mean, I think Zach Ertz is a beloved Eagle, ex-Eagle. But
we don't gotta just bring Eagles back for the sake of bringing Eagles back.
Anyway, Boopie's gonna pop off anyway. I don't know about how Ev feels about that, but I think Boopie's gonna pop off, and we're gonna
see.
Boopie's popping off.
I'm for it.
Noah's Arks, everything's crazy. Now
it's gonna be a nip slip.
Yeah, talking about just if you're just throwing out some scenarios out there, a yes or no, or does Dallas Goedert make the Pro Bowl this year?
Wow, good
does
question.
Dallas Goedert make the Pro Bowl this year? And does
how many? I'm trying to think about the other tight ends in the NFC that would challenge him. I think he does. Gronk retired. For now. But I think if he comes back, it won't even be till like midway through the year.
True
if I'm
that.
being real.
True that.
Kittle. Yeah, it's a tough one. But I mean, how many tight ends make it? Like 2 or 3 per conference?
I think it's something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Goddard will make it. I think
that's a yes from Evan.
It's a yes from me.
Prime.
I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely in his favor to go ahead and be that one of the top tight ends this season. We have a lot of weapons on the team that's going to draw a lot of attention, so that's definitely going to open up the playing field for him. And that's a possibility for some serious and positive stats this upcoming season. So I'm in favor of him making the Pro Bowl. I'm with Evan right now, just trying to think of what other NFC tight ends, are definitely going to be over him. The only one that comes to my mind right now is
Schultz
Kittle.
scare you?
Really?
I mean, Paul says Dallas makes it. Jimmy says yes. Cody says nah. Kittle.
Well, I mean, Kittle would make it. Don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean Dallas can't make it neither.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that Goddard would make it over Kittle. I just think that he would make it in addition to Kittle.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, like, I really can't think of anybody else top tier than Kittle. I mean,
in the NFC, yeah.
In the NFC, really, yeah.
That other player that you just mentioned,
Tonyan, I guess, could
Schultz?
be up there.
Dallas Schultz,
Robert Tonyan with
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
Remember who my other tight end?
Kyle Pitts.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Kyle Pitts, but I still see
Remember who my tight end sleeper, day 3 sleeper back in the day was?
Who was that?
Dalton Schultz.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that he's a productive guy for the Cowboys, it's they got him in later round, so I feel like he's worked himself into a perfect opportunity for
sure.
Spot.
Well, I didn't even think about that because I mean they don't have Amari Cooper no more. You got CC and I forgot the other dude's name.
Michael Gallup.
Yeah. So hey, Schultz could have an outstanding year.
They're a bunch of bums.
They have the bums regardless.
Will says Dallas will not make the Pro Bowl. It's very exciting when you think about the red zone with Dallas Goedert and what the offense is going to look like.
Logan Thomas.
Yeah, Logan Thomas. Wentz to Logan Thomas might be something to watch out for.
You made us say the name.
Speaking of Washington, and now if you guys are planning on doing a road trip, semi-road trip, you talk about going down to Washington for the Philly sports trips. It should be a great time. I know they're having one in Detroit, but September 25th, it's the Carson versus Jalen Bowl, man. I think that should be hyped up even more. Like this is like, they are. I'm sure they're friends, but they're
not.
I mean, I was doing air quotes.
Yeah.
But this is a competition. This is a battle of like ex-Eagle quarterbacks first. It's like when they went down and McNabb was down there. Kind of weird scene, right? McNabb. Which game do you want to win more? Beating McNabb or beating Carson?
Beating Carson
now, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like,
McNabb was like. McNabb gave us, in my mind, a whole lot more than Carson gave us, man. So, like, I look at it. McNabb was at the end of his career.
I can't believe.
What did you just say, Ev?
What?
He gave us 4 straight NFC. He didn't win the Super Bowl.
And the man and Carson gave us a Super Bowl, bro.
He didn't. Listen, he played a part in it. He played a part in it.
Serious part in that. 12 fucking games, bro. Come on. All right. This is an argument,
bro. Listen. Maybe I'm being a little harsh on Carson, but the fact is that he left a sour taste in my mouth.
I get it, bro. Just like Donovan left a sour taste on me. You know what I mean?
I get that. And like I rank McNabb higher than Carson. Sorry, that's where I stand. I think I'm crazy for that. I mean,
I'm just like, hey, look.
He did it for longer, more consistent, longer. But it's funny because I was like random, like some family members came over the other day. They just out of nowhere, like, yeah, what do you think about this? If Carson doesn't get hurt, do the Eagles win the Super Bowl? And I was like,
it's a question we're never gonna get an answer to, bro.
And I
have
said,
no answer to that one.
I said, I was like, I'm not sure because Nick Foles was magical.
Yeah.
What Nick Foles was doing was magical. So that was the perfect ride, dude.
But see, like, this is a topic that I really don't want to get into. But the same amount of people that had no faith in Nick are quick to go ahead and be all hyped up about Nick because Nick proved himself. But I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna stop there.
Now Cody says Wentz did not give us more than McNabb. I'm sorry.
That's cool, Cody. How old are you? Yeah.
Oh, bro, that could be an episode on its own. Like, there's a lot of scenarios where it's a weird scene, dude. Like, at the end of the day, just be happy you got a Super Bowl, man.
I'm happy, bro.
I was talking to Jesse, the homie from the Trent Cole camp, and he said, bro, like, if that Super Bowl, he's like, I'm good. I don't need to win another one. That's how jacked up the old heads are that they got one, bro. They're like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need anything. He's like, the second one's never gonna live up to the first one.
I agree with that.
I totally agree.
There's nothing like your first time, bro.
But I'm not gonna say I don't want no more. I want more.
I'm gonna say I want more, but I will agree that the first one will always be the best.
Yeah, the first one is definitely what you call it. All right, so Cody's 27. So we're talking about what, almost 18 years ago. So what was he? 9?
He's my age, so I don't understand what your point is. Like, you think that your mind is warped, Prime. You think that Carson was really better than McNabb, for real?
No, I didn't say that he was better than McNabb. I just said he didn't give. All right, he didn't give what we got from Carson. He didn't give it. He had 4 years, 4 chances to do it, and he couldn't do it. 4 chances.
I don't think it was just him, bro. I think they did McNabb a disservice by not putting the people around him.
Paul with the Blu-ray. I can't even think of the word, man.
VHS.
Blu-ray swag versus VHS.
What word couldn't you think of? They're all there.
Swag. I couldn't think of the word. Swag. Yeah, I mean, before we get out of here,
I don't even think VHS. I think they even got it on floppy disk too.
Before we get out of here, make sure you guys, if you're looking for the other position profiles, we recently did one on the wide receivers. Look at the Wu-Tang Clan right here. Almost every single different style wide receiver in the house.
Bringing the ruckus.
Also, I was watching the Dallas Goedert presser, and he also, I'm keeping tabs of how many people have shouted out Britton Covey. He also, out of nowhere, was like, he said, who's standing out so far? And he's like, oh, Britton Covey, without a doubt. I was like, okay, hey Dallas, I'm just keeping a tally. Check out the running back position breakdown. I know Evan had some spicy hot takes there. We did one on the QB prospects. I mean, not prospects, the QB roster depth. That was pretty exciting. That got spicy as well. So I mean, go check out the older videos. Before we get out of here, any last words? I mean, we're moving right into the weekend. It's Friday. Any big plans? I
got some last words. Todd, I got some last words. What happened week 18 in Indianapolis last year versus Jacksonville?
Oh.
Choke artist.
That man got some serious hate.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to say have a good weekend, guys.
So I mean, Ev, are you like this after breakups? Are you like this? Are you jaded?
You know how I am, bro. You're dead to me. That's what it is. I don't want to hear anything positive about you again. You're dead to me.
Scoring.
Oh man.
What about you, Prime?
Nah, it's Friday. Make sure everybody has a great weekend. And then going back to what Gail had posted up there, a lot of people have been reaching out to us about these trips. Hey, are we going here? Are we going there? Yes, we are. But in order for you guys to really have a good time and really feel the full effect of a trip with the 4th and Jawn boys, go to Philly Sports Trip. Hit the link. Come and join us at the Redskins Detroit Arizona game, and you guys will know what it's all about. So the answer to your question is yes, we are going to be there. In order for you guys to find out, you guys got to come and join us. So make sure you guys go to Philly Sports Trip and make it happen. All right, there it is.
Well, there's potential of a bus. Like if you're going to take the bus trip to Washington, 4th and Jawn could have a bus. I don't really like buses, so this is a very interesting dilemma. but we'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that it's going to be our
Probably
bus,
came
though.
up after the show, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, like the fact that it's going to be our bus, we have control of how things are going to be there. So don't worry about it, but like it's going to be fine.
Bro,
This could have been an email.
shout out to you, Blue Mini. Shout out to you, Blue Mini.
Likewise, Prime.
Yeah. Last words. Were you done, Prime?
Yeah,
Best
I guess
friends
I
at
am.
age.
I guess I am.
Oh, how did you bowl last night?
Oh man, I don't even want to talk about it. It's
Oh,
horrible.
that bad, huh?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Double digits.
This man's got a midnight green bowling ball. He's got he's got accessories. Like how you can bowl bad with like midnight green?
I didn't bowl bad. I didn't bowl to my potential last night. So I didn't bowl bad, but
You end up in the gutter, bro.
One time.
One time.
The ball, the ball slipped out of my hand.
Do you go straight at the pins or you curve?
No, I got the curve. Curve.
Is there like if you're bowling, is that better to curve it versus like I see all like the top notch guys? They're always
I can't really say. I mean, it depends on how well it's more fitting to you. I mean, yesterday I was going against guys that were straight bowlers. Little. I hope they're tuning in, man. Little bitches bowling an 8-pound, 10-pound ball, man. Like it's sad. But I mean, like, yeah. At the end of the day,
bowling beef.
that shit kind of pisses you off.
Yo, I'll see you at the lanes, bro.
Bowl with a goddamn ball, like a real ball, man. Like the little sissy balls is ridiculous. But
So,
I mean,
so are you when you bowl a striker, you do like, who do you think you are? I am. Is that you do shit like that?
I don't get.
No, he's like this to whoever just missed the spare opportunity.
I do act like that though. I ain't gonna lie. Like what I mean. We have. I end up going from like one side of the lane, the bowling alley, to the other side just to go talk shit. Like
Oh, AJ can bowl.
AJ, okay. All right.
Hey,
227 was my highest, but 224. Hey, that's good.
Hey, I'm down to bowl if you want to bowl one night.
Yeah,
listen, man, let's make it happen for sure. For Jawn night, there we go.
Oh, you like Prom's gonna flex. I
we
think
can go
Prom's
live. Listen, I'm not gonna flex. We could just go live. We could show them. You know what I mean? We could do something. We could do something.
Oh yeah, that audio would be awesome in a bowling alley,
right?
Further AM, yes sir. You can hit up Design Tree. I'll send you a link. You can order one off there. Cody says, seen Jay Cutler on ESPN winning a championship in cornhole. Jay Cutler, the quarterback.
Hey man, that's an interesting game too.
Yeah. Yo, he won a car playing cornhole, bro.
Yeah, he did. I saw. I was there.
I have no skills in bowling, but
my first game is always my best one, and then I just fall apart. Like the drinks start flowing.
Jimmy, I'm with you, man. That's what these guys are talking about. I got an Eagles bowling ball. I got an Eagles bag.
How heavy is your ball, Prime?
Mine's is a 14. Mine's is a 14. Yeah.
Talk about falling apart. We always fall apart at the end of the show. We just go off on a tangent.
Sorry,
and
man.
it's Friday, man. It's Friday.
It's usually food related, not bowling related.
Yeah. We're talking about random sports. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around for the position profile. We're going to try and make it through this thing before camp starts. If anything else spicy comes up, I know our other spicy podcast is the top 25. The top 25 most important.
Yeah, guys that'll make the biggest impact.
It's not always the best on the team, but the most important.
Yeah. That one got
importante.
That one got spicy last year.
So that'll be coming around the corner. If you guys have any ideas for podcasts, DM one of us, and we'll try to make it happen.
Yo, we're less than a month away from the Eagles open practice. It is. I can smell it, boys. I can smell it.
5 days, Lane Johnson days, bro.
And there are words that an open camp, open practice tailgate is going to be happening. So
get your stomachs ready for some cheesesteaks.
It's practice. Like you have to get ready for the real thing. So
I got to practice getting back in the motion, bro. It's practice for all of us.
I got to go get the grill. Looks like we have 2 grills now.
We got 2 grills now.
Yeah,
What the fuck did that happen?
the one I bought down.
Double
Well,
work for you.
Is it a flat top?
You have to check it out, dude.
I'll have to check it out.
Check it out. We got 2 grills.
All right. Do we have 2 gas tanks?
Yeah.
Like it.
We got fire.
If you want to grill your onions separately on the other side.
I mean, maybe I'll just have to expand the menu this year if we got 2 grills. I don't know.
Man, we were just totally off the rails. But shout out to y'all. I'm going to take the words from Paul, my man Paul over here. I appreciate y'all. And then we'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds!